Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Welcome to the Cricket Show once again. Well, this is your host Ram welcoming you to the show. And in this show, we are going to look at the third one-day international between England and New Zealand, which ended in a win for England. And so I would say right in time, as you know, the ICC Champions Trophy is tomorrow starting in England. The ICC Champions Trophy 2013. It kicks off with the game between India and South Africa. And as I've been already saying this, I'm a bit surprised that the hosts, England, are not playing the first match. So I'm a bit surprised. Probably the reason might have been, but today I definitely feel that this should be the reason, because England have just finished the series. So I don't think that is fair on England too. But probably they should have scheduled it in such a manner that England would have completed all their engagements before the ICC Champions Trophy starts, so that the curtain raiser, according to me, should always be played by the host country, and that should be England. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Nevertheless, we still have a great game of cricket coming for everybody all over the world, for all the cricket fans all over the world. It's India versus South Africa, and it's going to be a meaty clash. But well, I'm not going to talk about that. But what I'm out here to dwell today is on the third one-day international between England and New Zealand, where, as I was telling, England had to save face, and well, they did save face, but not being really stretched along to such an extent that finally the verdict was a win by 34 runs for England, and New Zealand took the series 2-1. But well, just talking about the match here, for England, England were the ones who actually batted first. As Trent Bridge is a seaming and a swinging pitch, well, I wouldn't say it really proved it to me, but New Zealand were the ones who won the toss, and they decided, because this was a day-night match which was played at Trent Bridge in Nottingham, and New Zealand decided to insert England in. Well, England didn't have a good start at all, with Mitchell McClenaghan coming in and first providing the breakthrough pretty early in the third over of the innings. When Alistair Cook was gone, he was LBW bowled McClenaghan for a duck, as he actually missed a straighter ball, and up went the umpire Tim Robinson, who was actually officiating as an umpire on the ground for the first time, and up went the umpire's finger. Robinson, well, it was sent for a decision review to the third umpire, and the decision came as out, and it was a great relief for Tim Robinson, who gave his first victim there. So Alistair Cook was gone out for a duck. So that was the first wicket to go. After that, Ian Bell joined Jonathan Trott, and both of them started stitching together a partnership from 3 for 1. It was not easy to bat on. The bowling was absolutely onto the mark, with Mitchell McClenaghan already taken 1 wicket. Kyle Mills and Tim Southee were operating. So it was not easy to really get the ball. So it was a matter of just being there at the crease and trying to hurdle runs. And who better than Ian Bell and Jonathan Trott in the present England team to do it? Such experienced players there. And well, they did that to take the score on to 69 when the wicket fell. And this was the wicket of Jonathan Trott. McClenaghan came on his second spell, and he also got an identical delivery to what he bowled to Alistair Cook. It was a one which was a straighter one. Jonathan Trott missed it. It was LBW bowled McClenaghan for 37 of 53 balls with 4-4. So the partnership of 66 runs for the second wicket ended there. And after that, Joe Root came in. Joe Root contributed in his own way. He contributed 33 at the other end. It was Ian Bell. Again, it was another good partnership which was there after Jonathan Trott and Ian Bell put together a partnership. Now this was a partnership for the third wicket between Joe Root and Ian Bell. Ian Bell, as you know, he was the sheet anchor of the innings. He was really trying to hold the innings together. Joe Root came in. Joe Root also is a very steady player. So both of them slowly started steadying the ship by adding a very valuable 80 runs partnership when Joe Root was run out from a Guptill-Ronchi combination for 33 of 50 balls with 1-4, when the score read 149 for 3 when Root departed. That was the 34th over. After that, but Ian Bell kept on. Ian Bell had company of Ravi Bopara at that stage. But once Joe Root departed, Ian Bell, after playing a very good knock where he actually held the innings together to really put in a very good effort of 82 of 96 balls with 6 fours and 1 6 that he lofted. He was the next to go. He was the fourth wicket to fall when McClanahan actually picked up his third victim there, picked up Ian Bell as he was caught by Nathan McCullum for 82, and the score read 153 for 4. After that, Ravi Bopara, he contributed. He was joined in by Ian Morgan there. Ian Morgan was also finding it a bit of a struggle. He was not really getting the ball off the square. He was really struggling initially when Ravi Bopara was there at the crease. And Ravi Bopara also just managed to not manage, I would say there were no boundaries. He was just content on getting singles, probably trying to play himself in, but that was the right approach. Bopara contributed 28 before Kane Williamson picked up his wicket as Ravi Bopara was caught by Taylor of the bowling of Williamson for 28 of 38 balls, which made the score 210 for 5. And 210 for 5, that was in the 46th over. So that was the time when it looked like, whether England, what score would they get, because at 210. But one good thing in their favor was Ian Morgan was at the crease, but he was not really timing the ball well. But with the introduction of Jos Butler to the crease, things started exploding for England, because when Bopara departed, it was in the 46th over and only 4 overs remained. And look at what Morgan and Butler did to the New Zealand bowling after that. That was something absolutely scintillating stuff. They added 62-run partnership, and this 62-run partnership has come in, I have to really say this, 22 balls. In 22 balls, they added 62 runs with Ian Morgan. Once once the death overs were there, Ian Morgan really capitalized, hitting 2 sixes, 3 sixes, 2 over long on and 2 over long off and 1 over long on. And Jos Butler was the man to really watch. He was simply what to say. Ian Morgan was there, but this partnership, as I said, 62 runs in 22 balls. Jos Butler was really, I would say, thrashing the ball. In fact, there were some fortuitous edges which were going, but that was not to be. But Jos Butler was playing his reverse ramp shot. As you know, he has so much time in the world to really adjust to his strokes. It was absolutely inventive stroke making. As what he did is, along with Ian Morgan, he played some reverse ramp shots, which a ball, he just picked it up from the off stump and just hit it over mid-on for a boundary. Then there was one ball that Kyle Mills bowled well outside the off stump, a very slower delivery. And what Butler did was something extraordinary. He had that had that timing, in the sense he had so much of timing to actually go over there and give it direction by playing the scoop shot over third man for a boundary. What a shot that was. And then Butler also hit 2 sixes in the last over of Tim Southee. Tim Southee's figures were absolutely rearranged by Jos Butler, as Jos Butler went aerial by smacking him for 2 sixes. And what a knock from Butler. He was absolutely superb. One of the, I think today in modern day cricket, if at all there are any two inventive stroke makers, one should be A.B. de Villiers of South Africa, who could play all those strokes that are absolutely out of the book. And I think Jos Butler would definitely go down as one of them. He is there to really entertain this crowd, and what entertainment he provided for this English public here, in making an unbeaten 47 of just 28 deliveries. He hit 6 fours and 3 sixes, and he just missed the coveted mark of 50. Not only missed the coveted mark of 50, as you know, the world record for the fastest 50 in a one-day international is held by the former cricketer of Sri Lanka, Sanath Jayasuriya, the dasher, who hit the 50 of 17 balls for Sri Lanka against Pakistan in 1996, I reckon. And here, Jos Butler was almost on the verge of a record. He just missed that record by a whisker, because if he had got probably another 2 runs, I probably thought 2 or 3 runs, he might have actually got a 50. So 3 runs he missed the mark, and he remained unbeaten on 47 of 16 balls with 6 fours and 3 sixes. The contribution from Ian Morgan was 49 of 40 balls with 2 fours and 3 sixes, and England finally finished at a very good score of 287 for 6 of their 50 overs, due to 76 runs rattled in the last 4 overs by Ian Morgan and Jos Butler. Well, looking at the bowling figures, Mitchell McLennan 10 overs unbeaten 3 for 54. Kyle Mills, as I said, Butler and Morgan, once they started, it was all over for the New Zealand bowlers. The New Zealand bowlers really had to show their backside there. As Kyle Mills 9 overs unbeaten, none for 55 for him. Tim Southey got his figures rearranged by Jos Butler in the last over. 9 overs no maiden, none for 65. Franklin 4 overs for 24 runs. Nathan McCullum bowled 8 overs, none for 35, was the most economical there. Kane Williamson 9 overs 142, and Colin Munro bowled 1 over for 10 runs. And as far as New Zealand were concerned, for New Zealand the chase was 287. They lost Luke Crunchy. This time Luke Crunchy, after a long time after being out for ducks, finally came up and he contributed 22 of 17 balls with 4 fours, but he tried to pull a ball from Broad and Trott took the catch and he was gone for 22. That was the first wicket to go with the score on 39 for New Zealand. Martin Guptill was looking good. He was playing very fluently. Yes, that's what confidence can do to you, and he was playing some very, very confident strokes, and they are actually along with in the company of Kane Williamson, who was set 8. Martin Guptill had pushed the New Zealand score on to 70, playing some fluent strokes, fluent boundaries being hit by him. But James Treadwell, the random off spinner, was given a chance today. As you know, today Stephen Finn, as Stuart Broad was there. There was no Graham Swan. Probably they were doing some experimentation there, and I think that was the right way to go. And what they did is today they brought in James Treadwell, the random off spinner. And James Treadwell, he has not. The recent records say that he has not even picked up a single wicket in the English county season, which is very sad. But well, what a match he had here. What he did is he actually got a ball through the gate of Martin Guptill to disturb his stumps, and Martin Guptill finally was gone, and what a relief for the Englishman there, as Martin Guptill was bowled by Treadwell for 38 of 36 balls with 6 fours and 1 6. That was a big wicket for England, as they would rightly know, because he's the man who can't not only score century, but he has scored big centuries, and he's not only the man, he can also play the sheet anchor role, and he can stay till the end. So it was a very important wicket for England, I thought there. So after that, 70 for 2, and after that suddenly the thing started, the New Zealand innings started taking a tumble, as Williamson gave his wicket away to Root, as it was LBW bowled Root getting his first wicket in one-day internationals. His maiden wicket in one-day internationals. Was absolutely overjoyed, as Kane Williamson was gone for 19 of 28 balls with 1 4, which made the score 96 for 3. Colin Munro followed him to the pavilion, as he was Bresnan actually picked him up. Scott Butler bowled Bresnan for a duck, and Brendan McCullum also disappointed. It was very important for Brendan McCullum to stay there, but Brendan McCullum disappointed. Scott Butler bowled Treadwell for 6, which left New Zealand at that stage at really from a position where they were looking good, they were really going absolutely down at 111 for 5, and more trouble to follow, as Franklin was dismissed to the pavilion by Broad, as Franklin was caught. Cook bowled Broad for 7, and then the score became 122 for 6. Nathan McCullum briefly, but the man who was staying there was a very important person, and he was Ross Taylor. Ross Taylor was there, and Ross Taylor understood the magnitude of the situation. He decided to really, keep himself busy with singles, but not really attempt any big strokes, and that was the right way to go. He started getting into a partnership with Nathan McCullum, who was playing well. He made 28 of 33 balls with 2 fours, and the score went on to 175 in the 35th over, and that was the time when Nathan McCullum fell, with Bresnan picking up his second wicket, as Nathan McCullum was out for 28 of 33 balls with 2 fours, which brought Tim Southey to the crease. And Tim Southey came in and slammed 3 boundaries. He hit 3 boundaries in his knock of 15 of as many balls, but Stephen Finn had his wicket, and he was gone for 15. And that was the time when Ross Taylor was still there. He was in his probably in his 40s at that particular stage, and Kyle Mills had joined him. Now 196 for 8, 38th over. It was almost going to be something very difficult, but well, after that, once Kyle Mills came, Kyle Mills started giving some good support to Taylor, and then Taylor started slowly opening up. He started playing some very good big strokes there. He started hitting some boundaries, and Kyle Mills also hit 2 fours and 1 6. This was a partnership which took the score on to 235. So basically it was around 40 runs added between Kyle Mills and Ross Taylor, and Ross Taylor in this particular over, this was the 43rd over, where the equation was looking pretty high, but still, as far as Ross Taylor was there, New Zealand definitely had hope. And when James Treadwell came, it was something which had to happen, because, as you know, the favorite area of Ross Taylor is mid-wicket. He likes to hit there, and it's when the right-arm off-spinner bowls, it's really possible to go and hit the slog sweep over mid-wicket, and if you time it, you can hit it with the spin over the fence, and that's what precisely Ross Taylor did. In fact, 2 balls were deposited over mid-wicket for sixes by Ross Taylor, and that was the time. Probably Ross Taylor was looking dangerous at the time, but James Treadwell had his man, but only just, because what happened was Taylor actually hit one more identical shot there over mid-wicket, and this time actually the catch was taken by Bresnan, but it was the other fielder who actually before the ball went over the fence, he actually put it back to Bresnan inside the circle, and he picked up the wicket. It was something something which happened for the good for England, because, as I said, Ross Taylor's wicket was very, very important, because if Ross Taylor would have been there, you could have definitely hurt them. Probably New Zealand could have gone for a win. But Ross Taylor, after definitely he had no other choice but to go for it, because there were a lot of runs. Probably the run rate was really creeping up. It was a run rate of probably 9 or 10 runs per over, so he definitely had to throw his willow, and Ross Taylor did that, but Treadwell had the last laugh. Caught Bresnan bowled Treadwell for 71 of 84 balls with 2 4s and 3 6s. After that, Kyle Mills just smacked one more 6 of that bowling of, I thought it was Treadwell, no, Ravi Bopara, I suppose. And after that, it was all over. Kyle Mills remaining unbeaten on 28 of 23 balls with 2 4s and 1 6. McLennan's wicket was claimed by Finn, as McLennan tried to play a shot through the point region, and he was caught by Joe Root, bowled by Finn for 4 of 13 deliveries. 253 all out New Zealand, and finally the match was in England's hand there, as England won the match by 34 runs. As I said, it was a very important match for England to win. Yes, they did that, but as I said, New Zealand definitely really stretched them to a great extent there. So in the 47th over, it was all over. New Zealand all out for 253. England losing the match. So England winning the match by 34 runs, and New Zealand losing it. But New Zealand taking the series 2-1. As far as the bowling figures were concerned, Stephen Finn 9.3 overs, no maiden, 2 for 57. Stuart Broad and Bresnan also shared the wickets. 2 for 56 for Broad, and Bresnan had 2 for 27. Looked good. Treadwell would be very happy with the performance. As I said, he has not taken a single wicket in this English county season, and here he is coming in and picking up 3 wickets, and some very important wickets that he took, if you look at it, because he took the wicket of Ross Taylor, and then he took Brendan McCullum, which was very important, and then he had Martin Guptill. So it was those key wickets that Treadwell took. 9 overs, no maiden, 3 for 51. Joe Root, the one-day international, made an international wicket. 5 overs, no maiden, 1 for 34. And Ravi Bopara, 6 overs, none for 21. Was very economical. I thought he bowled very well there. He was really keeping the ball up to the batsmen, not allowing them any freebies there. And the player of the match, no doubt about it. There was absolutely no doubt about it. Jos Butler truly deserved that Man of the Match award. What a player Jos Butler is turning out to be. I think he's going to regale the crowds world over. And I'm sure in the Champions Trophy, ICC Champions Trophy is something that everyone would be wanting to watch Jos Butler bat, because he's really, really inventive, and he's a real treat to watch when he's there at the wicket. And Jos Butler deservedly got the Man of the Match, and Martin Guptill, for hitting 2 centuries in this New Zealand-England series, was given the Man of the Series. Well, he truly deserved that too. So, well, on this note, I am really ending my cricket happening show for now. I'm not doing a preview. Well, one thing I would like to say before going, tomorrow the ICC Champions Trophy 2013 kicks off with the game between the curtain raiser being India versus South Africa. And South Africa, unfortunately, which is very sad for me, that Dale Steyn, and such a kingpin in the South African attack, is missing tomorrow. And what a big blow that is for South Africa. But, well, whether India can still take advantage of Dale Steyn not being there and go over South Africa. The records suggest that in the Champions Trophy, India definitely has the wood over South Africa. We will know all about that tomorrow when India plays South Africa in the curtain raiser of the ICC Champions Trophy 2013. And your host Ram will be there as usual to give you a full match report on that particular match. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.